Hello everyone, welcome to Prim Legal. My name is Priscilla, your host. Thank you for joining us in today's session, and we're happy to have you today. Okay, this session we'll be talking about something very fantastic, but I don't think people even think it's a crime. I can even tell you that I, for one, never thought that something like this would be a crime until it became a crime, or until Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act made it a crime. Anyway, so I want you to fasten your seatbelt and listen, because you might actually find it funny that I'm saying this, but like they say, it is what it is. So yeah, and so today's topic will be forceful eviction of your spouse. Yes, that means when you decide to throw your spouse's things out of the house or refuse to allow them entrance into the house. The law is saying that, look, that is punishable under the law and it's not supposed to be. So we have the law saying that, look, no matter what happens, as a man, you cannot throw your wife's things out of the house. No matter what it is, as a woman, you cannot throw your husband's things out of the house, or you cannot lock the person outside the house and prevent the person from coming into the house, maybe as a result of a quarrel or something. The law is saying, no, that's a no-no for us, and it is punishable. So we're going to read Section 9, actually, of the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015. That Section 9 simply says, look, a person who forcefully evicts his or her spouse from his or her home or refuses him or her access commits an offense and is liable on conviction to imprisonment not exceeding 2 years or to a fine not exceeding 300,000 naira, or both. It's obvious that this law applies only to a couple that stays together, a married couple that stays together. So I assume that it's their matrimonial home. And we know that sometimes people can get, things can get really heated between married people and all that. So before you know what's happening, there's the throwing of one's things out, and the woman have to run to her family. They'll come back, they talk, they pack the thing back inside, and life just goes on. And it just continues. It's a family affair. This is me sitting down here hoping that this law does not end up ruining homes rather than saving people, because you know how people can be when you get involved in their matrimonial matters. But so I think this is one law that took a little step further, but then again, it's a nice one and all that. So the law is simply saying, trash out your matrimonial issues, do it, fine, no problem, but do not forcefully evict this person out of the house, especially when you know. And I think it is nice because most of the time we know that the spouse we are throwing out of the house has nowhere else to go to. It's like a vengeful plan. It's like you want to carry out some sort of allow me to use the word disciplinary action against that particular spouse, and so we feel like, oh, okay, let me throw the person's things out of the house. Or maybe the person came later than he or she ought to, and you already have these ideas running in your head. So what do? You lock the person out, and the person is outside late at night, probably begging for you to open the door or looking for people to come help beg you. And let's say, look, all these things you are doing, don't worry, it is 2 years imprisonment or a fine of 300,000. So the law is saying that it can be 3 years imprisonment or 300,000 or both. It all depends on the magistrate at that point in time and all that. So that's what the law is saying now. You can even tell yourself that, I did not throw my spouse out of the house, or I did not lock my spouse out of the house, so it is my family people that did it. Now the law goes further to say, look, there's no problem. It said, look, Subsection 3 of that Section 9 goes further to say that, look, any person or any people who incites, that is, instigate. So when people are advising you to throw the person out of the house, you see all those people that are giving that advice, they are also part of the whole issue. The law is actually out for them too, and it goes further to say, or helps or aids. That is, the person came to your house and joined you in throwing your wife's things out, or joined you in throwing your husband's things out of that. That's aiding, and the law is saying, look, you aid, you help. Don't worry, you're all in the same category. Or you counsel the person, you actually advise the person, say another person to commit that particular offense, that is the offense of evicting his wife or evicting her husband out of the house, it goes on to say, look, the person commits an offense of his own, and the punishment for that offense is a year imprisonment or the sum of 200,000 naira, or both, like I said, depending on the magistrate. So you see what the law is trying to say, apart from the man or the woman, that is the actual people involved in this issue, you yourself don't instigate anybody. If the person who calls you, come and help me, throw this woman's things out of the house, come and help me, throw this man's things out of the house, tell the person, don't worry, carry your cross yourself, go and do it by yourself. Why? Because not only when is the person wanting to bring an action against his or her spouse, the person also actually attach you, and if the person actually attaches you to the whole issue, you have your own case to answer, and really you don't want to be answering case for another person's problem. So you see, Subsection 2 even goes further to say that, look, if you even attempt to do it, I don't know what attempting to throw one's things out of the house will look like, but it's saying, look, attempting to do it is also an offense of his own, and it's also 1 year imprisonment with a fine of 200,000 or a fine of 200,000, or both, like I say again, depending on the magistrate. So it's actually a very, like I said, I don't know if this law was designed to save spouses or save people's head from a very brutal partner, but I'm hoping that this law does not end up ruining more homes than saving. And I know it's actually very dicey, but I think what the law is trying to say is stop it, find other ways to address issues in your house rather than throwing the weaker party, because that's what really usually happens. The person who is throwing the other person out is usually the stronger one, either stronger physically or stronger financially. That's the person throwing the weaker one out. And so I think the law is trying to protect the weaker person in that scenario. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that, look, the law is saying that you cannot do that. If for any reason you are tired of your spouse and you want the spouse out, go through the legal method, which is, of course, instituting a divorce action and divorce proceeding, and get the person out. So I think that's actually a straightforward call. But other than that, I know that this is sounding funny. I don't even know why I'm not laughing. You should be laughing too by now. But then again, that's what the law says, and the law is what the law is, and not what it ought to be. So at the end of the day, you have to be cautious of this certain action. So yeah, that's today's topic. So till I come your way at next session, please avoid every form of throwing spouses things out of the house and all that. Thank you very much.